I was born at Kennestone, grew up in Atlanta, normal home. I had a stepfather that I didn't really mesh with. That's a whole nother story in and of itself. Alcohol, drugs started around 13 or 14. Wasn't really supervised, I would say. I kind of just did my own thing. Towards the end of high school, I felt like I didn't have a mission. I didn't have purpose. And I felt like the only way to do that was to go into the military. Enlisted in 2003 and we deployed to Afghanistan. Afghanistan was great, not a lot of stress. Coming back, a year later, we deployed again, this time to Iraq, and that was probably the beginning of truly feeling what a deployment is like. Being blown up, shot at, it's a whole different ball game when you're dealing with that. So we make it through that deployment, get back, another year goes by, then go back for another year to Iraq again, and this one was just constant being blown up, and it was just like hell on earth.
Well, we met after his first deployment. During his second deployment, we had been dating and we got engaged. When he got home, he was different. All the guys were very different. So when he came back, I was a little concerned more about his mental and emotional health than I was his physical health.
I felt like I didn't belong in the States. I belonged overseas because I felt like that's the only place that I had a mission or a purpose. Drugs and alcohol ramped up significantly after I got out. Got to the point where I felt like she and the boys were better off if I wasn't there. So some nights I would literally get in my car and look for the biggest tree to run into. Probably my absolute downfall was when I decided that the only possible way out was to take myself out. I would get to the point where I would pretty much hide how much I was drinking. Drank way too much one night. Don't remember how I got in the bed, but woke up. My head was just throbbing, not from the alcohol, but she told me I had broken a chair, ripped a curtain down, and I had a huge gash on my forehead. So I know something happened last night that I don't remember. Went to the living room and we just had this long conversation.
I think this is the first time that I actually was upset. I grew up in a household where my mother was an alcoholic. So having a husband that was becoming an alcoholic was something that I was not willing to sweep under the rug this time.
At that point in time, I just had like this weird feeling in my gut, like I've got to do something or I'm gonna lose my family. I grabbed every drop of alcohol in the house and just straight poured it down the drain. She asked me what I was doing and I said, this is it, I'm done. I can't wake up like that again. It's hard for me to believe what I don't see. So I told myself that, I'm gonna dive into the Bible and I wanna find like how it historically is accurate or inaccurate. So I just dove deep, figured out these are real places. This isn't just some fairy tale story. I mean, these are real people, real events. Jesus was real. When there's thousands of people saying that he existed and he rose from the dead, there's no other story or book ever to be written like that.
With him hitting rock bottom, I prayed a lot. Our neighbors actually were telling us about the church that they started going to, and it was Creekside. So I showed him videos of different churches, and then I showed him one of Greg, and it was a mess. Everything was going wrong for him that morning. His tablet was dead. He had to wing it. Nothing was working out, and he was like, I'll go there.
So we joined Creekside, still feeling everything out, but something just felt like, all right, you're meant to be here. Coming every weekend, I felt like the next step would be baptism. Me and Greg had a long conversation about like my story of my life, and then he talked about baptism and the amount of commitment that required. So I told him I was all in.
I've been praying for my family for a really long time and trying to plant seeds as much as possible, but it took James getting baptized and him wanting to come to church to really get the momentum going in our family. And it led every single one of our boys to being baptized. And now we're fully committed and we're fully involved with Creekside.
I'm James, I was a one, and Jesus left the 99 for me.